So everyone, I'm Pius and I'm here with yet another video. Thank you guys for tuning in today. And today we are going to review Octane, the new 5th studio album by Don Toliver. And wow, like this is such a great piece of art. So cohesive, so refreshing, experimental, new, everything that I wanted to hear from an artist that is known to be a great vocalist and just prone to be good at delivering such albums like Octane, basically. So I gotta do like a fact check because I don't want to say anything wrong. And this was after my first 2-3 rounds of listening, like 120 minutes of listening to the album, and I gotta say it is great. I like it really much. It's really cohesive. It got some experimental flow, some new kind of approaches to his whole like psychedelic trap, psychedelic R&B sort of music style. The vocals are even better than they used to be, in my opinion. Like Don's talent for having great sound, great vocals. He has such a good ear for production. Like, I'm really impressed with that album. Yeah, and as I just said, it released today on the 30th of January. It is roughly 50 minutes long, which I also really like. It's got 18 songs. And one thing that I think is really hard for a good album is the curation process. It shouldn't be too short, it shouldn't be too long either. And I think Don really mastered that. I think you could have put it down to 16 songs maybe. 1 or 2 aren't really necessary in my opinion. But as I said, this is just my subjective opinion. I think all of the songs are good at least. Most of them are great in my opinion. I really like this album as a whole. And I don't think there are any skips. Maybe 1 or 2 skips, I'll come to that later. But yeah, I also really liked the whole imagery of that album rollout basically. So the listening event at the Porsche building, I just call it like that, was a really great PR stunt in my opinion. Also the collaboration with Porsche in general, having all that celebrities there, all that people getting invited, getting driven around by professional drivers and then having that listening party, just looked very cool. Yeah, I also really liked the whole vibe with the scientific approach and this whole observatory thing. So if I'm not mistaken here, he had a live stream basically, and this live stream was also about, he just previewed his right there basically, and it was the same observatory that Albert Einstein used to be in and used to work in. If I'm not mistaken there, I heard that, don't got a source for that though. But yeah, I really liked his album rollout, also his lead singles Tiramisu and ATM, other lead single, I think they're really good. And then we also got the long-awaited Callback, which I'll come to later, and it's just a great song. I really love it. So yeah, I really love this album basically. Where should I start? I think the promo was also great with other artists shouting it out. You had Travis Scott, so you had Travis Scott basically promoting it in his Rolling Stone interview. I really liked that and got into Don Toliver even more because I didn't listen to Don that much around that time, but he basically reminded me. I also really liked being in that live stream from the observatory. And yes, I also like the features basically. The feature list isn't that stacked from something you would expect from someone who's a superstar like Don Toliver. So Travis is featured, obviously, Star Baby is featured, and also featured is, wait, let me check, Yeet of course, and Tizo Touchdown, and Rima is also, or Rima, I don't know how to pronounce his name basically, but he's got some good music. And yeah, I think that's a good feature list. You shouldn't stack it too much, and I really think the individual or the artistic pursuit of Don himself is curated better like that, if you get what I'm saying. So I think not having that much features brings actually more focus to the solo work by Don, which I think is really precise, good, cohesive. Just as I said, I also like the vocals, like they are so crisp, the vocals are trippy and just so uplifting basically. And yeah, I think this album as a whole is just such a good and important piece of art or piece of work, especially in a time like January, February, the start of the year, because I'm already envisioning myself doing some great stuff in the summer, flying out to different countries. Like when I hear, for example, Sweet Home or Pleasure's Mine or Tiramisu too, or Callback. I imagine myself in places like Marseille, France, or I don't know, in Italy, just catching flights, going out, doing great stuff, having fun with friends. I think it's like a great movie soundtrack for a really beautiful and fun and uplifting, positive sort of life, and I really think that was so good. And Don also said that he describes Octane as a full speed ride into the present, which I think is really just justifying what I'm saying basically. So I think it's really, really good. I also really like the features, which I'll come to in a second. And I think this album is important for hip-hop as a whole, because everyone keeps saying hip-hop is dying out, which I think is kind of nonsense, because you had so many different genres emerging from that trap sound that is not that popular anymore. But I think it's a really good album for this whole trap or trap R&B, trippy, psychedelic R&B genre, because it is everything you could expect from a great album in that genre. And it's also really creative, and Don tries out a lot of new styles on that album, so it's really experimental. And also still got everything that you would expect from an album like someone like Don. So if you like Don's previous work, you are gonna like that for sure. Let's just get into the songs basically. So before I get into the songs, I just wanna say that this could be one of Don's best albums in my opinion. I think it's better than Hardstone Psycho just from a first listening experience. My first listening experience with that album was the best out of any of Don's previous records, to be honest. I could just argue that it's my favorite album already, because I really love it. I hadn't had such a great first listening experience in ages. And yes, it's just great. There's nothing wrong with it. I like all of it basically. Yeah, so let's just get to the first song. I think the first song is called E80, and I think it's a great intro. It's everything you would expect, but nothing crazy. But you get hyped up. I like the production, I like the sound, I like the beat a lot. And yeah, it's just like a great first taste of what's coming after. And the next song, Body, is going to be a hit. This album as a whole in general has such a great hit ratio or hit potential. There are going to be so many hits, and Body is definitely going to be one of them. I hope this song doesn't get TikTokified that much or that quick, because the intro is just amazing. I gotta check it once again. I'm out of control when I'm crushing on you. She don't tell me no when I'm touching on her. Like, that's something different you wouldn't expect from Don if you hadn't heard it before. I really like chaotic beat and the whole Body ad-libs. I think it's really great and really just a good way to start this album turned up. And then the next song is featured with Yeet is featured in the next song, Rendezvous. And yes, I think Yeet and Don collaborations are always kind of a hit or a miss in my opinion. A friend of mine just said that too, and I think they nailed it this time. I really like the whole song. It's chilled, it's good, you can't go wrong with it. It's just cohesive, it's what you would expect basically. And I think on that songs, especially on that album, you can really see Don improving his vocals, because some people could argue or expect, I expected it too, after all that success, after all that great work, he said, artists are prone to become lazy, especially when they have such a great life. Basically, Don from the outside, Don has a great life. Don, I don't know if he's married, but he's a father now, so that should be one of his main priorities, of course. And some people, after they have so many great albums, so many great things, they start to kind of lose their momentum or just lose a bit of their artistic craft or potential, maybe because they have proven themselves so many times, and Don has too, but this time I think it's even better. And I think you can really see it on the vocals, because he's improved so much on the vocals. I really love them, they're just great. And I also really love the fourth song, Second Hand with Rima. I really love this feature basically. It was so unexpected, yet still so good. Yeah, there's not that much to say about that song after that. And yeah, then we got to Tiramisu, lead single. Was out since like the 5th of September, I guess. And I don't want to talk about it too much. It's a great song, can't go wrong with it. Reminds me of my Italy trips a bit. And yeah, the dreamy production is really good. I like that, the vocals also. Yeah, the next single, ATM, is another banger in my opinion. It's great too. It's been out for a week or two, I guess. I slept on it for that time, but I really like it. I really think it has great replay value, and I gotta check it again. Yeah, also there's a video. Yeah, I really like the quotes they're wearing, that whole theme of scientific approach to that album. I think it's really funny and good. And yeah, there's not that much to say about ATM, besides that it got great replay value, it's super catchy, has got a super nice hook. Yeah, I like it. The next song kind of disappointed me at the start. It's Long Way to Calabasas, and I expected more of that song because I heard leaks. And I still think after like a couple listens it's good, but it's not as good as I would have expected. But it's still a super good chill song if you want to calm down a bit. Let me check. Yeah, I really like that song too, because the instruments you are using there aren't that normal for Don's production or Don's beat, but I think it's fitting really good into that whole aesthetic, into that whole genre. Yeah, the next song is Rosary with Travis Scott, and I didn't like that song. After the first listen I thought, hey, it was too lame, where's all the fun, where's all the hype at? And after a couple listens, I still think it's not one of the best songs. I think out of that album, which I like every song of, at least a bit, this is more mid, and I especially don't like Travis's part that much, because I think it's like, come on, it's nothing outstanding here basically, and I think Travis could have done better on that album, especially because, I mean, it's one of his artists, it's Cactus Jack. I expected more, but I really liked the vocals of Toliver once again. The vocals really struck me on that record as a whole. I think it was so great. And yeah, the next song I liked more was All the Signs with Tizo Touchdown. I really like the experimental approach that Tizo always tends to bring at these rap, hip-hop, trap R&B projects from bigger artists. And yeah, this song almost felt like an interlude for like 3 straight minutes, and I thought, okay, when is this over and when are we going to get into the song we've been all waiting for? And right there, I think the album changed, at least for me. The vibe completely changed. And then came Callback. I mean, what a song. We all know Callback. It's been such a nice summer with Callback. We just had to listen to the leaks, but this was such a vibe. I heard that song like at the start of the whole world live in Berlin with my friend Silvio. It was such a vibe. We were all so excited for Callback to drop and the whole album to drop. And this Hearthstone Psycho tour really got carried by Callback basically. He also filmed part of the video in Berlin, where we've been in the pits just going crazy. It was so fun, so great. We all know the lyrics. We all knew the lyrics already, even though the song wasn't out. It was just such a vibe, and it's probably the best song. That intro, that 4 times the repetition of the first key of the beat, like this boom, 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 boom. It was so great listening to that song, and this is going to stick with me. Like a couple songs are going to get replayed a lot, especially in my playlist, but this could be my top song of 2026 already. It's probably going to be in my Spotify Wrapped. Yeah, I love that record, and I think the whole album changed on that song. And after that, there's Tuition. The song coming kind of slow after it, but it's a great mix of not too turned up, but still not too chilled. It's like a great song in between. I didn't remember too much of it, to be honest. Yeah, then comes track 12, K9 feat. Sa Baby. I really liked it. Was unexpected once again. Yeah, so I think the Sa Baby feature really sounded good or sounded cohesive with the main part, and they have a good chemistry on that record. I really like that. Yeah, on the next song is Excavator? I don't know if I got that right. Which I think is good. Once again, we kind of getting more into that hype or mosh pit heavy territory right now. Yeah, this song was nothing outstanding for me too, but I really like it. It will grow on me probably a lot, and I think you can't go wrong with that song. But yeah, like all of that song, they're so cohesive. That's why I keep saying the same. They're great in production. Don is delivering great vocals, and it's still a bit experimental, but also bringing everything we want, love, and need from Don. Yeah, the next song is something different though. It's called Gemstone, and this is one of my 3 favorite songs on that record too, probably after Callback and the next song, which I'm going to get into later. Gemstone is such a heavy hitter. Yeah, this song is going to be crazy at like the next joint. I can't wait to hear Callback live once again, Gemstone and Opposite, all the other songs that are coming. It's so great. This beat drop at the festivals, at mosh pits is going to get so crazy, and I love everything about it. I love this chaotic, almost dystopian beat. I love Don's approach on the song. It's just so great and has a great replay value. Yeah, the next song is Opposite, another mosh pit heavy song. I love these turned up songs by Don. I think they're great, and I was disappointed on the first half of the record because there was more sort of chill stuff beside 1 or 2 songs, but on the second half I think he also delivered even more than on the first half after the Callback. I just call it switch of the album. There's like 2 parts of it, in my opinion. Yeah, Opposite is so great. And yeah, TMU, I kind of can't remember that much about the song. I heard it in for like a couple seconds and I think it's super trippy and I like that too. It's what you would expect, once again, from Don. And yeah, it's nothing outstanding that much, but it's some great new songs that you can relax to on a nice car ride. And yeah, my SD card is almost full, so I gotta hurry up. Then there is Pleasure's Mine, which I think is really great. It's something new, you wouldn't expect that much from Don. I love the production on it. It's so, yeah, it's laid back, it's good. It's something different. And then we got Sweet Home, which is probably my third favorite song on this record. And I think this song is easy to describe as like a happy end for the album, which I really like. Don's talking about love a lot on that song, and I think it's a great vibe. And I imagine like a nice end of the summer with people you like and just a nice sunset. Bro, this is kind of, no, I scrap that. But yeah, I really like that song. It's really great. It's a really cool, wholesome way to end this album. And with that start to end, I think there are like 1 or 2 skips for me maybe. So I could imagine skipping Excavator maybe, but I'm not sure about that. Or a Long Way to Calabasas and now Rosary. I'll keep Rosary. And yeah, overall it was such a great cohesive listen. It was probably the best first listening experience in a while. And I think compared to other albums like Don't Be Dumb, this whole concept or this whole hit ratio was way higher, way better. Yeah, the first listen was in my car driving to school with a couple homies and it was so great. We all enjoyed it so much and we almost came late to class because we wanted to finish that album. But yes, it was so great. It was such a vibe. I love this album and I can't wait to see him live. For all the Don fans, I really encourage you to listen to that. And yeah, I think it's just really great. I also really liked on the third song, I guess, or on some song, I don't know on which one it was, the Houston reference he made to his hometown. Also great. For the collaboration with Travis too, because yeah, both artists are from Houston and representing their hometown. I think it's really good. And on that note, I gotta end that video. I think it's an 8 of 10 for me, just because great. I think we're tuning in for the vibes and he delivered on that. So -1 point for the 2 skips and -1 point for the lyrics. The vocals are great. Don is a vocalist, not a lyricist in my opinion. Or not the best, like an MF Doom or something like that, but I really love that album. I think Don has made an album of the